Hi there, thank you so much for joining me today. This is Julie DiMatteo from thepaperpixie.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the US, and in this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful gift box that is sized to fit one of the Bath & Body Works foaming hand washes. Now, it is quite a large bottle, so I had to be a little creative in how to put together the box utilizing 8.5 by 11 pieces of cardstock. So I'm going to show you how easy this is to put together. Let me first show you what the box looks like when we open it. Okay, so we've got kind of this inset lid here, and inside we've got the foaming hand soap from Bath & Body Works. It's 8 3/4 ounces. And it's an interesting shaped bottle, so I had to get creative with how we put this box together. So it fits nicely in the box base. Then the lid is an inset lid, like so. And it's a really sturdy box. I know you'll find other things besides the foaming hand wash to fit in this gift box. So let me show you how we're gonna go ahead and put this beautiful box together. We're going to start with a piece of pretty peacock cardstock that measures 9 3/4 by 8 1/4. And on the 9 3/4 inch side, we're going to score this at 2 inches, 4 5/8, 6 5/8, and 9 1/4. I'm going to rotate it clockwise and score it at 2 inches. Next, I'm going to fold and burnish on all the score lines. And then let me bring in a quick template here. So what we're going to do is remove the lower right corner, that rectangular corner. I'm also going to notch in on this side tab here. Then we're going to cut up each of the vertical score lines, stopping at the horizontal score line. Then the two narrower sections, we're going to notch those in. So I'm going to come in on the side here. We're going to notch the side tab. And then remove this lower rectangular corner. Then I'm going to cut up each of the vertical score lines. Then I'm going to come in and notch the narrower sections. They're kind of look like squares. Like so. So that's going to look like our template here. Okay, to put this box together, we're going to run some tear and tape right along this side tab. I'm going to put it right up to the score line instead of the edge of the cardstock. Then I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to fold on the second score line from the left and the first score line from the right. Those should line up right where we want it. So there's our seam. So this is going to be the back panel. So I'm going to move the tabs kind of out of the way. I'm going to use some multi-purpose liquid glue here and place it on the two side tabs. And then the front tab, so the one opposite the seam. I'm just going to fold in the side tabs, then the back tab, then the front tab. Just kind of squaring it up as I go. And then the trick is to put your soap in the box, and we can press then from the inside so that those tabs stick down. So the lid is done. It's a very simple lid. Let's go ahead and work on the box base. Okay, for the box base, we're gonna use a piece of cardstock that measures 10 inches by 8 1/4 inches. And I brought in the Stampin' trimmer, which is now retired, but if you have a trimmer that has the 1/16 of an inch increments, that's what we're gonna need for this part. The only way to make the lid fit the base nicely is to use some 1/16 of an inch increments, and I promise they're easy. So along the 10-inch side, we're gonna score this at 2 1/16, which is just one tick mark past the 2. Make sure I use my scoring blade here. Next, we're gonna score this at 4 3/4. Then 6 13/16, which is 3 tick marks before the 7. And then 9 1/2. Now for this one, we're going to rotate counterclockwise, and I'll explain that in a minute. We're going to score this at 2 1/16, so one tick mark past the 2. Okay, next we're going to fold and burnish on all the score lines. And in a very similar way, we're going to prepare the box base, but now we've got the side tab on the left side. And that's just so that when we line up our box to put it together, the seam on both the lid and the base are both on the same side and in the same orientation. So we got the seam here and the seam there. All right, so we're gonna go ahead, and if it's easier for you to work from the back side, because that's kind of how my brain works, I'm gonna come in and notch the tab. I'm gonna remove that lower corner rectangle. And I'm gonna cut up each of the vertical score lines, stopping at the horizontal score line. And then I'm gonna notch the two smaller sections. All right, so that's starting to look like our template here. Now before we put the box together, I'm gonna adhere 4 pieces of the Noble Peacock Specialty Designer Series paper. I love this paper. I've got 2 pieces that measure 2.5 inches by 6 inches and 2 pieces that measure 1 7/8 by 6 inches. And those are just gonna line up here in these vertical panels. I'm just gonna go ahead and glue those down using multi-purpose liquid glue. All right, so those panels are adhered. Now before we glue the box together, I'm gonna bring in the detailed trio punch, and we're gonna punch little ribbon holes here. What I love about this punch is there's a little center mark point there. So what I'm gonna do is just kind of eyeball it. We're only gonna punch holes in the 2 narrower sections. So I'm just eyeballing, centering these 2 score lines on either side of that center mark, and then we're gonna go ahead and punch. I'll do the same thing to the next narrower section and punch. Like that. Now we can put our box together. We'll use tear and tape along the side. Then I'm kind of working backwards, folding on the second score line from the left, first score line from the right, making sure that those line up. Then again, here's our seam. So this will be the back of the box. Liquid glue on each of the tabs, or rather on each of the side tabs, and then liquid glue on the back of the front tab, the tab opposite the seam. Fold in the side tabs, the back tab, then the front tab. And again, we can put our soap in this box, press down. Now I'm gonna grab the inset lid. We've got our seam on the back side here. And we'll just make sure that these 2 fit. A perfect fit. How cute is that? We're gonna decorate this box. We're gonna create a really fun tag. We're gonna be using the Parcels and Petals bundle and the sentiment A Little Something. And I love this set of dies that it comes with. We're gonna stamp the sentiment in Whisper White. I'm gonna be cutting that out with this really cool die, like so. Then I'm also gonna cut a piece from the Pretty Peacock with this other die, and then I'm gonna punch using the Timeless Label Punch, a piece out of Blueberry Bushel. So I'm gonna die cut these 2 pieces and I'll be right back. Okay, so now we got our 3 pieces. I do wanna point out, I put the sentiment a little bit to the right because we're gonna be punching a hole here to turn this into a tag. So first, I'm gonna take the piece from the die set. I'm gonna glue that to the Blueberry Bushel punch out. I love how these 2 layer. Then I'm gonna glue the sentiment on top of those 2. Then bringing back the detailed trio punch, I'm just gonna feed the tag where I want that hole to be punched, again, centering it with that center marker and punching, so we got a little ribbon hole there. And now it's time to tie our ribbon. We're gonna be using the beautiful Old Olive Pretty Peacock reversible ribbon. I'm gonna take out the lid first and show you how we're gonna do this. So I'm gonna take the end of the ribbon. I still have it on the roll because I find that that saves more ribbon. I'm gonna feed it through the right side of the box and then back through the left side of the box, so inside to out. And I got a little bit of a big loop here. I'm gonna kind of put it out of the way and then put the lid back in. Okay, so now we got this ribbon. See how it's going through the outside, then back out the other way. So I'm gonna pull this down, make sure we've got pretty good sized tail here to do our bow. And I hope this will show up okay on the camera. I know I'm close to the camera. I'm gonna kind of work on creating my ribbon here. So what I'm gonna do is, as I bring, so this is the left side with the tail, this is the right side that I've pulled over to the left, and as I kind of loop this around, I'm gonna also feed it under this piece, and that's just gonna tie those two together. And then the last thing I'm gonna do is on the little tail here, just add the tag. It'll take a little bit of practice. It's gonna be hard for me to kind of show you on the video, but now I'm gonna go in, I've got my tag fed onto the ribbon, and I'm gonna go ahead and create a bow now. And there we have it, a sweet little hostess gift, loved gift for someone. I love these Bath & Body Works foaming hand washes. It's just a great little gift box to have in your stash. I love the size of it. I love how sturdy it is, and I love these colors together. So I'd love to see what you made. I know you'll come up with so many other things that will fit this box, and you can certainly put something in here that's much taller with the way that the lid fits into the box base. This will just slide out a little bit more based on how tall or short your gift item is. So thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss my next video. If you're interested in purchasing any of the Stampin' Up! Products I used today, they'll be linked in the description, and I'll also include a link to my detailed blog post with all project measurements, details, and pictures of the templates. I'd love to have you come visit me at thepaperpixie.com, where I post projects every weekday to inspire you. I have options to subscribe to both my monthly newsletter as well as my daily blog updates, and I'd love to welcome you as a new subscriber. You can shop with me anytime at thepaperpixie.com/shop. And if you're interested in a discount on your Stampin' Up! Purchases, the starter kit is the ultimate bundle, and I'd love to welcome you to my team of Paper Pixies. You can purchase the starter kit at thepaperpixie.com/join. If you don't already have a demonstrator and you'd like a complimentary copy of one of our catalogs, you can submit a catalog request at thepaperpixie.com/catalogs. If you give this project a try, I'd love to see what you made, so feel free to share it on social media with the hashtag #PaperPixie, and I'll be sure to check it out. Thanks again for watching. I hope you have a wonderful and blessed day. Take care. Bye.